Hello, my dear students of the third prep. Today we will meet again with a new episodes of our program مدرسة على الهواء. Let's at first welcome with my friend Mr. Muhammad Mahmoud. Welcome, Mr.
Hello, hi, Mr. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Thank you.
Last episodes, Mr., we begin studying light, the new unit or the second unit in our curriculum of science.
Yes.
And we study the introduction about lights. We know the properties of light. Light travels in a straight line. Light can be reflected and the light can be refraction. Today, Mr., we will deal with a new concept. Today we will deal with the mirrors.
Yes.
Let's at first give us more information about the types of mirror and what is the meaning of mirror at first.
Okay, firstly, how are you, dear students? So here, as Mr. Muhammad said before, we have to deal today with a new concept in our life as we talk about the light reflection as we studied before in second prep. And here we have to know as the types of mirrors and how can we know the concept of light reflection through types of mirrors. As we have here, we have two main types of mirrors, as we have a plane mirror and we have a spherical mirror. Everyone can know and can act with plane mirror in his or her life. But firstly, how can we know the properties of the image through the plane mirror? So here in this lesson, we will talk about the properties of the image through plane mirror or through spherical mirrors, as we will study in this lesson. So let's go to start with the first point in our lesson. As we know now, we have plane mirror and we have a spherical mirror, but we will start, as Mr. Muhammad said, with the plane mirror and the properties of the image through the plane mirror.
Yes.
As we see here on the monitor, we have the properties of the image in the plane mirror on the monitor here. زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا properties of the image in the plane mirror.
Yes.
Plane mirror in your home or in your school, everywhere around us. So
yes.
we have here, as we see, image in this point as point B. And here we have point A as we talk about object. So we will talk about the properties of the image through the plane mirror. بنتكلم على صفات the image صورة in the plane mirror. Number one, as we see here, properties of the image equal to the object. Equal to the object. Equal in what?
Yes.
Equal in size. يعني الاتنين قد بعض. In size. يعني الاتنين قد بعض في الحجم زي ما بيقولوا.
Yes.
Number two, here, image is erect. Erect, which means upright. يعني معدول. Erect, which means upright. يعني معدول. Number three, image is reversed. Image is reversed. Which means what? Which means converted. يعني معكوس. Converted. Which means what? Here, if we want to explain this point, this girl raises her left hand here.
Yes.
But in the image here, we have the right hand of the image. So if we want to talk about the property of the image, third property here, we have here left hand and here we have the right hand. So the image is converted. Converted or reversed, يعني معكوس. Okay. Number three, reverse. Number four, image is what? Distance between object and image, يعني distance from this point, from object to the mirror, equal the distance between image and the mirror. Between, if we have this as a perpendicular line here to recognize the, as we see here, the image and the distance between object and image. So distance between object and mirror equal the distance between image and mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, this distance equal this distance. Okay, يبقى distance between object and the mirror equal the distance between image and mirror. طيب, number 5 here, how can we deal with number 5? As we see here, dear students, this image is what? Is virtual. This image is virtual. يعني ايه virtual image? Virtual يعني not real. Not real. يعني مش حقيقي. If we want to, for example, يعني if we want to take a photo to your friend by your mobile, لو خدت صورة بالموبايل, this image is real image. Why? Because if your friend go away from front of the mobile, you can keep his or her image in your mobile. Yeah. But if you move away from the front of the plane mirror, your image will disappear. So here we have a virtual image, which means not real image, which means what? Can't be received on the screen. Can't be received, يعني ما ينفعش ان انا استقبله, received on a screen. On a screen. Can't be received on a screen here, as we see. So we have 5 main properties of the image. So here we talk about what? We talk about the properties of the image in the plane mirror. Again, in the plane mirror, as we see, dear students. So here we have 5 main properties, as we have number 1, can't be received on the screen, or virtual, upright, equal in size, and we have erect and reversed at the same time.
So, Mr. Here we can ask our students to practice these properties practically. We asked them to stand in front of mirror and look at their images.
Yes.
And they can conclude the properties because they can see the size of themselves doesn't or don't different.
Yes.
They can see their images, yes, upright, down, or
yes.
erect. And we can notice the reversed property because when raise one of their hands, they will notice that the image in the mirror raise the reverse hand.
Yes.
And if we deal with the last point, Mr., it
yes.
is very clear because in many problems we are asked our students to calculate the distance between the image and the mirror if
yes.
we know the distance between object and the mirror.
Yes.
And we ask them in some problem, I want you to explain this by using drawing and writing. If they move in front of toward the mirror or back the mirror, the distance change, and here, Mr., the distance between the object and the mirror and the object, the image and the mirror will be different. You can explain this.
Yes, as you see here, and we have to explain this experiment here to know the properties of the image through the plane mirror, as we studied before. Here we have 5 properties at least. We can see these properties through video, and we can know how can we recognize, because sometimes in some questions we have some problems to identify the properties of the image by numbers. Here we will deal with numbers. As we see here, dear students, we have this small video that recognize the properties of the image through the plane mirror. زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا هنا هوت على المونيتور هنا. We have basketball player here. This basketball player is at your left side, and we have his image at the right side. Yeah. We can recognize the first property. They are equal in size as object and his image now, because we talk about this player. Number 2, so we have here the distance between object and mirror, equal distance between mirror and image.
Mr. Let's go out in a break and return back again.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
Yes. Welcome again, my dear students. Let's continue listening to the explaining of the properties of light with Mr. Muhammad. And Mr. please give an examples after explaining the properties or a problem to calculate the distance between the object and the mirror, or the image and the mirror, or
Okay.
the object and
Its
image.
image.
Yes.
So dear students, here we have some types of problems to recognize how can we deal with numbers in this problem, as we said before the break. Here we have a problem to deal with distance between object and image, or object and mirror, as we have distance between object and mirror equal distance between mirror and image. This problem, as we see here, object here at a distance of 5 meters, يعني على بعد مسافة 5 meters in front of a plane mirror. Here distance between object and this plane mirror is how many? 5 meters. Calculate the distance. هو بقى هيقول لي calculate the distance. Number 1. Between object and its image. Number 1. So how can we deal with this type of problems? We should make, as we studied before in second prep, we make a line, or draw a line like that with shaded area to know front and back of this mirror. So here we have this arrow represents the object, and this arrow represents the image. So we know the distance between object and mirror equal the distance between image and mirror. So we have here number 1, here we have object, and here we have its image. So we know from the third property in the properties of the image through the plane mirror, distance between object and mirror equal distance between mirror and image. So here we have 5 meters, and here we have 5 meters. So distance between object and its image, how many? So we have 5 plus 5 equal how many? Here equal 10 meters. So it's easy to calculate the distance between object and its image. 5 plus 5 here equal 10 meters. Okay, طيب. If we have another point or another request here in this problem, as a distance between object and its image, for example, if the object moves 3 meters toward the mirror. Okay? So here, in this case, we know object will move toward the mirror, اتحرك في اتجاه المراية, about how many? About 3 meters. So the new place of the object, we know now we have mirror here, okay? Here we have what? Here we have the object, and the object changes its place. So the image automatically will change its place. So the object moves how many? 3 meters toward the mirror. اتحرك 3 متر في ناحية المراية. So the left distance here equal about how many? About 2 meters. Because the previous distance is how many? Is 5 meters. So we have 2 meters here, and here we have another 2 meters. So the new distance between object and its image equal 2 plus 2 equal how many? Equal 4 meters. So if we can recognize the distance between object and mirror, we can recognize any distance as a request. At the same time, dear students, we should imagine your place to calculate the distance between object and image, or between image and mirror at the same time. As I think we can see يعني ممكن نشوف فيديو مثلا
Yes.
to explain this property
Practically,
about
yes,
this
yes.
about practical experiment here in the lab to see some concepts to recognize the properties of the object through the plane mirror as erect and distance between object and the mirror equal distance between mirror and the image. At the same time, the image is erect, the image is reversed and equal in size as the main 5 properties of the image through the plane mirror.
The properties of image.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, the properties of image in a plane mirror.
Yes.
Yes, mister. Let's see the video. Yes.
Hello dear students, we have today a new lesson. This lesson is very interesting lesson. We talk about the light reflection as we studied before in second prep. We know we have light reflection as light incident ray and we have reflected ray. But the first time or the first type of mirrors as we will study today in this year, we talk about the plane mirror. Plane mirror as at your home, as at any place. We have plane mirrors. These plane mirrors, we have properties of the image through plane mirror. If we have any plane mirror like this mirror, as we see here, this mirror, we have any object in front of this plane mirror. The image of the object in this mirror is what? Is number 1, erect. What is meant by erect? This image is يعني معدول. Erect, which means what? Erect يعني stay as it is. And equal in size. Equal in size at the same time, but this image is reversed. Reversed يعني معكوس. So we have 3 main points here to talk about the image in front of the plane mirror. As we see, number 1, equal in size. Number 2, reversed. Number 3, erect. And at the same time, distance between object and mirror equal the distance between image and mirror.
I think Mr. Muhammad using of different strategy or different means to explain the lessons of science
Yes.
is very, very important.
Yes.
Because the science is the science of life.
Yes.
And these applications facilitate or make studying of these subjects easy.
Yes.
After studying the properties of the image formed in plane mirror, we will move to another type of mirror. As you said, we state that mirrors have 2 types, plane mirrors and spherical mirror.
Yes.
Let's move to the second type, which is called the spherical mirror, and give the divisions of these types.
So dear students, here we have 2 main types of the mirrors. As we know now, we have plane mirror and we know the properties of the image through the plane mirror, and we know the 5 main properties we study through the plane mirror as the image. At the same time, we have another type of the mirrors. Here we have spherical mirrors. Spherical mirrors as mirror is apart from a hollow sphere.
Yeah.
At the same time, we have 2 main types of the spherical mirrors. عندنا نوعين من السpherical mirror. هنا نتكلم على spherical mirrors. As we know now, we have spherical mirror. Mirror, which means mirror, its reflecting surface is a part of hollow sphere. Is a part from hollow sphere. We have here a hollow sphere as we see in this figure. Hollow sphere يعني كرة مفرغة من الداخل. And now we will know the two main types of the spherical mirrors. We have two main types here. We have convex and concave spherical mirrors, as we have concave and we have convex. Okay? So what is meant by concave mirror? Concave mirror has the inner part of the reflecting surface, or the inner part of hollow sphere is the reflecting surface. بمعنى ايه؟ We have here the reflecting surface as we see here. We have concave mirror. As we talk about what? We talk about sphere. احنا بنتكلم على كورة صح؟ أقول له okay. So here we have this sphere has outer surface here. Okay? And at the same time we have inner surface. So the reflecting surface in concave mirror is the inner part or the inner surface of the hollow sphere. يعني الجزء اللي جوه هو المراية. Okay? So if we talk about concave mirror, we see the inner part. So we will say what is meant by concave mirror as the reflecting surface is the inner part of the hollow sphere. يعني الجزء اللي بيعكس هو الجزء الداخلي. At the same time we have what? We have convex mirror. So what is meant by convex mirror? Here we have the what? We have here the outer surface and inner surface. This inner surface is the back of the mirror. So its reflecting surface is what? Is the outer surface of the sphere. Is the outer surface of the sphere. So if we know what is meant by concave mirror, has inner reflecting surface of what? Of the hollow sphere. At the same time, if we talk about the convex, we have outer reflecting surface of what? Of the, yes, of the hollow sphere. So we should know the properties of the or the uses of convex and concave mirrors. Here we have, for example, in this place, we have زي ما احنا شايفين, we have concave like that. We have to draw the shaded area at the back of the what? Of concave mirror. At the same time, we will know now this concave mirror is used for what? We talk about concave mirror. نتكلم على concave mirror. So concave mirror is used in solar oven اللي هو الفرن الشمسي or solar cell that we studied before in first prep, which changed the solar energy into electric or heat energy. So why we use, give reason for, here we use concave mirror in solar oven or solar cell. Why? Because concave mirror here collects light rays after reflection. We can say collect all, or we can use another expression here. We can use converge, يعني مجمعة. Converge. If we use converge or collect معناهم واحد. If we have give reason for, concave mirror is called convergent mirror. Why? Because it collects light rays after reflection, because we talk about mirror. At the same time, we have another type of mirrors, and it has some uses here about what? About the convex mirror. If we talk about here convex mirror, نستخدم convex mirror here. So we talk about what? We talk about the outer surface of the reflecting surface, or the outer surface of the sphere. So we should make the shaded area at the inner part like that, and the outer part is the reflecting surface. So convex mirror is used in what? بستخدمها فين? Used in cars mirrors. بستخدمها two sides car mirrors. Okay, and parking or parks mirrors. المرايات اللي بتبقى موجودة في in the garage. Okay, mirrors. Okay, why we use convex mirrors or in cars mirrors or in parks mirrors? Why? Because this convex mirror form small and erect image. Small and erect what? Image or images to see all behind. Okay? عشان اشوف كل اللي ورايا. So here we know what is meant by small. We can use another expression here. Instead of small we can use diminished. مصغر يعني. And erect we can use another expression as upright. يعني معدول. So why we use these mirrors as a convex mirrors in cars and parks mirrors? Because it forms the images as small or diminished, مصغرة, erect, and which means upright, to see all behind. And at the same time, we know now, dear students, the convex mirror, what as the opposite property of concave mirror. In the previous part, we say concave mirror collects light rays after reflection. Okay? But here, convex mirrors diverge, يعني بتشتت. Diverge. The what? The light rays after what? After reflection. So now we know the properties of each one of them, and we can know the parts of each one of them.
So, Mr. We can summarize the two types of spherical mirrors by concave mirrors and convex mirror. In concave mirror, the mirror that will be considered as converge or collect, because when the light rays falls in it, they will reflected and meet in a point. So here it is called converge. But in convex mirror, the mirror that the reflected surface is the outer surface, and here when the light rays falls on it, it diverge. So we can make a comparison, Mr., between concave and convex by give the definition for each mirror and also the effect of the mirror on the light falls on it. In case of concave, when light falls on it, it will reflected and converge or meet in one point, which is called after that focus. But in a convex mirror, when the light falls on it, it will be diverge or go away, and its extension will meet in this point, as we will explain in the concepts of mirror. Now, Mr., we will deal with some concepts about mirrors, or we deal with some concepts in studying mirror. Let's deal with the center of curvature. Let's deal with the radius of curvature and principal axis and yes, Mr. secondary axis. Yes.
Okay, as we see here, dear students on the monitor, please, here we have to deal with some points on the plane mirror as we studied before. Here we have another points. As we will use here a protractor to draw the concave mirror. For example, we use protractor to draw an arc like that. Okay, by using the protractor, then we remove the protractor. We didn't need it now. And we have number one to draw. What we have here, the shaded area, to know the hind back or the back of the concave mirror. For example, number one, we have here, this point is called what? This point is called here as C. So now we know the center of curvature as the first point we will study as a part or the first component in the spherical mirror. Especially here we talk about the concave mirror. We have C at the same time, and here we have P. So what is meant by C? C, which means center of curvature. Center of curvature. So what is meant by center of curvature? Which means what? Here we talk about sphere. So if we say center of curvature, we see or we say center of the sphere. Center of the what? Of the sphere. يعني هو السنتر بتاع الكورة. That this mirror is a part of اللي جزء منها. At the same time we have here P. P, which means pole of the mirror. Pole of the mirror. What is meant by pole of the mirror? As midpoint. Midpoint. On what? On يعني على on the reflecting surface. So these points didn't exist or doesn't exist in the plane mirror. Reflecting surface here. So we know what is meant by center of curvature as C, and pole of the mirror here as P. Between C and P we can by using طبعا هنستخدم ايه؟ by using our ruler like that. هنستخدم ruler، خلي بالنا. يبقى هنا we will use what? We will use ruler and we will use the protractor to يعني ان احنا to deal with these points on the طبعا concave mirrors. As here we have straight line like that. عندنا هنعمل straight line like that by using the ruler. Okay, خلاص احنا مش محتاجين ruler في حاجة. Okay. Okay. As we have here, we have number one, we have center of curvature at this point, C. And we have here P as pole of the mirror. This straight line connects between them is called what? It's called the principal axis. This point, this straight line is called the principal axis. So what is meant by the principal axis? It is the straight line connects between the center of curvature and what? And the pole of the mirror. So we know now what is meant by principal axis. At the same time, we have to know how many principal axes exist in the spherical mirror. We have only one principal axis. Why? Because principal axis is the straight line connects between what and what? Connects between the center of curvature and the pole of the mirror. So we have only one principal axis. But at the same time, we have another line here. This line is called what? By using the ruler برضو هستخدم المسطرة to draw this line. But here we have another line like that, or like that, or like that. We can draw many lines as we see, dear students, here. These lines are called what? These lines are called secondary axes. Secondary axis. So what is meant by secondary axis? It is any, خلي بالنا من الكلمة
Any
دي.
line.
Any straight line. Any straight line connects between what and what? Connects between center of curvature here and any point on the mirror except what? Except pole of the mirror. ما عدا ده. So how many secondary axes in or axes, طبعا جمع axes, how many secondary axes in the spherical mirrors? We have what axes here? We have infinite number or uncountable number of secondary axes in the concave or convex mirror, because it is any straight line connects between the center of curvature and any point on the mirror except what? Pole. At the same time, dear students, by using protractor again, and إذا هنستخدم البروتراكتور تاني أهو قدامنا, how can we deal with another part? نستخدمه نعمل كده برضو like that. And by using our pencil هنستخدم القلم الرصاص كده اهو to draw the arc. اوكي خلصناها مش عايزينها خلاص. And by using the ruler here to draw the C, we know what, how many. For example, يعني ممكن ناخد as a straight line from 0 to 6 centimeters or 8 centimeters, okay? This line now is called with other name. We know here is what? Here is C, center of curvature. Here is what? Here is P, pole of the mirror. And we know here we have the shaded area as the back of the mirror or back of the concave mirror especially. So this distance, احنا بنتكلم على ايه؟ Distance. Distance between C and P. خدت distance بس. Not straight line. ما قلتش straight line. يعني distance. So we talk about distance between center of curvature. Maybe we can use another distance like that. From here to here, distance. And from here to here, distance. So we talk about what? And you know this symbol from mathematics, as we studied before in primary stage. R small, R small, R small. We talk about what? We talk about radius of curvature. As this radius of curvature as distance. Distance between what? Between center of curvature and any point, and what? Any point on the mirror, and any point on the mirror. So how many radii here in the spherical mirror? نقدر نعدهم؟ أقول له we can't identify or we can't calculate the number of radii. Why? Because it is a distance, again, a distance between center of curvature and any point on the mirror. Okay?
Yes, Mr. I want to add an affirmation here.
Yes.
Because you make a great effort. Because here, Mr., what is the difference between the principal axis and the radius?
Yes.
Radius, as you said, the distance between the center of curvature and any point on
the mirror. Yes.
But when we talk about the principal axis, we said the line that passes with the center of curvature and the pole. And between 2 points, there is one line passes by 2 points.
Yes.
So here there are one principal axis. But if this line passes by the center of curvature or any point on the surface of mirror except pole, this is called secondary. So it is clear to differentiate between...
By one word only.
Yes, by one word. It is the line passes by the 2 points, but in radius, the distance between the 2 points, as you said. Yes, Mr.
So dear students, here we will complete on the monitor. As we have here, as we see, we have spherical mirror. As we talk about what? We talk about concave mirror. Here we have what? We have C as what? Center of curvature, and here we have P as what? As pole of the mirror. And from C to P is called, as a distance, is called radius. As straight line is called what? Is called here
Principal axis.
principal axis. So between them we have another point. As we will know now, this point is here as called F, F capital. Why? Because this point is called what? Is called the focus. It's called focus of the mirror. What is meant by focus? Focus, it is the point. زي ما احنا شايفين. We just describe, احنا بنوصف اللي احنا شايفين. احنا مش بنحفظ. يبقى focus, which means what? Focus, it is a point of intersection of reflected rays. On one condition, we will explain later, هنشرح امتى يعني. But if we have a straight line or light ray like that, this light ray parallel to the principal axis, this light ray will reflect through focus like that. And we have another light ray. If we have a light ray, we should draw an arrow, يعني لازم نرسم سهم to know the direction of the light rays. Then we have another light ray moves like that, parallel to the principal axis. This light ray will reflect through focus like that. Okay? So what is meant by focus? It is a point of intersection of reflected ray when the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis. The condition, and due to rule number 1, and we will study it later. طيب. If we have like that to draw, يعني لو انا هرسم كده، طبعا شوفوا لما عملتها بايدي بقى شكلها عامل ازاي. We should draw by what? By using here the protractor. لازم استخدم البروتراكتور like that to draw the spherical mirror, not by your hand. Again, not by your hand. As you see here, we have protractor to draw the arc. Then we have to remove the protractor. مش عايزينه خلاص. Then we have by ruler. Again, by ruler. We will draw a straight line by using distances from 0, for example, to 8 centimeters. Okay? Then we remove the ruler. مش عايزينها خلاص. So we have here C here, and here we have P. Between them we have what? Between them we have F. Okay, we know the distance between C to P. This distance is called what? This distance is called radius. The radius. But between C and F here only, or between F and P here only, is called what? Is called focal length. F small, focal length, focal length. So what is meant by focal length? It is a distance between center of curvature and focus, or distance between focus and pole of the mirror. So, one radius equal how many? 2 F small. F small, which means what? Focal length. So, radius equal to focal length. واحد يقول لي طب ما ممكن أقول
focal length.
Focal length equal half radius. Yes, mister. Half a radius. Okay? So, we know now the relation between radius and focal length. Some students can ask me, so we have diameter equal to radius, or to radii. Yeah. So radius equal how many? 2 focal length. So by knowing the diameter, we can know the radius and we can know the focal length. Now dear students, المفروض كان حد فيكم يقول لي here we should draw the back of the mirror. تمام؟ يبقى هنا we know the back of the mirror and front of the mirror as the object should stand in front of it.
Yes, Mr. It is very clear, and I wanted to be concentrated about the relation between the radius and the focal length, because in some problems we are given diameter or we are given the radius, and we are asked to indicate the properties of image if one person stands at a certain distance. So here we must indicate the point of the focus and by knowing the radius. Mr. Here also we can deal with some concepts in these points.
Yes, rules, yeah.
Rules, yes. Because the pathway of rays
Yes.
that falls on mirror differ according to the position of the falling ray on the surface of mirror. But also, Mr. I wanted to add a certain information. This illustration for the concave
Yes, concave only.
only.
Yes.
Because when we talk about convex, we make some change in the definition of focus, because the focus
Converge or
here,
diverge.
yes, because the focus in case of convex mirror is the point of intersection of the extension rays after reflection, because the convex
We will explain
mirror
this later.
diverge.
Yes.
So the reflected rays don't meet. So we must draw the extension, and all extension will meet in the point which is called the focus. Let's move, Mr. to the pathway of rays falls on mirror.
Okay, dear students, here we have on this monitor here we have incident light ray parallel to the principal axis, as we have, as Mr. Muhammad say, in concave mirror only we talk about. So if light ray parallel to the principal axis like that, parallel by ruler on a line of your copybook or your examination paper, ورقة الامتحان هشتغل على lines على السطور. If light ray parallel to the principal axis, it will reflect through what? Through focus. It will reflect through focus. If the light ray parallel to the principal axis, okay? لو هو parallel principal axis like that, it will reflect through focus, okay? Rule number one. Rule number two say, if the light ray passing through the focus as the opposite of the rule number one, so light ray will pass through focus like that. So the light ray reflect parallel to the principal axis. We know now, how can we differentiate? If the light ray passes or falls parallel to the principal axis, it reflects through focus. But here, if the light ray passes through focus or falls through focus, it will reflect parallel to the principal axis. And we have rule number three or law number three, if light ray passing through the center of curvature. Here we have another third rule, as light ray passes through center of curvature like that. لو light ray عدى كده من center of curvature. In this case, the light will what? Reflect on itself. In this case, the light will reflect on itself. If light rays or light ray falls, passes through center of curvature, it will reflect on itself. هيرجع على نفسه تاني. Why? Because angle of incidence equal angle of reflection equal 0. يعني خدنا الكلام ده قبل كده. But on plane mirror, I know. But if light ray falls through center of curvature, we deal with first law of light reflection, and we say هزود عليها the angle of incidence equal angle of reflection equal 0 degree. So it reflects on itself. So now, dear students, we know how can we deal with the behavior of light rays through the concave mirrors, as light ray falls perpendicular, as in center of curvature, as number two incident ray passing through focus, as here light ray falls parallel to the principal axis.
Yes, Mr. By explaining the pathway of rays falls in mirror, we reached to the end of our episode today.
Maybe next time we can deal with some problems about rule number one, rule number two, rule number three. But يعني I hope they can يعني understand completely because this lesson, I know this lesson is very important and has many expressions, but if they understand how can they imagine the points, they can answer any question.
They can't draw the image or illustrate the properties of the image by knowing these rays.
Yes.
My dear students, happy time till we next episode. Goodbye.